Alright guys, I'm having my favorite chocolate peanut butter smoothie for breakfast today. I told you I would be doing either this or oatmeal or what's on the plan, but I haven't wanted to do anything on the plan lately, so this is it, and this is going to keep me on track. I also wanted to mention that today I put different greens in here. I put in romaine like I always do, but I also put in some mesclun greens. And I get the mesclun greens from Whole Foods now. It's really the only pre-made green package that I can find, which, you know, is just more convenient sometimes to have the pre-washed stuff. It's the only mix I can find that doesn't have spinach or chard in it. And that for me is a huge challenge. I can never find anything bagged unless it's like just regular romaine or whatever, and then I might as well just get the hearts of romaine that I always get because I can just break them up anyhow. So I get the mesclun because with my kidney stones I have to avoid spinach and chard. You probably don't have to avoid spinach and chard because only 10% of the population will ever form kidney stones anyhow. However, it's always good to mix up your greens and stuff, to mix up any food that you're eating. You should never eat too much of one food ever. So I get the mesclun greens also, and then today I put in some red cabbage as well. I took like a little slice of it. It was like this and about that thick, you know, like, well, like a slice of red cabbage, and then this thick. So I can't do it with one hand. It was not a lot, maybe half a cup or 3/4 of a cup of red cabbage. And I was a little worried. I was like, am I gonna taste this? And I totally don't. So really, really cool. I really mixed up the greens from what I usually do in this one. So I think I'll do this at least for a few days or something. That's it. Breakfast time. Lunch is served. I'm having the Mexican salad, which I haven't had in a long time, and I'm really not in the mood for it. It tastes fine and everything, but it just doesn't taste amazing. I don't know what it is. I think I put everything in it right. Walnuts, avocado, salsa, corn, lettuce, a little bit of green pepper. I don't know what's wrong with it, but whatever. It's fine. I'll eat it all. It's a ton of food, clearly. Like, it's massive. And I got also a massive bowl of my leftover lentil stew, which I greatly watered down today with, not with water, with low sodium vegetable stock. But I did add a little bit of salt to it. So it's a little bit higher salt meal, but this is how I'm going to be able to choke it down. Be honest with you guys, I really struggled today. I was practically on my way to Chipotle. I was like, I'm going to Chipotle a lot because I have so many things to do today, but I'm getting like overwhelmed. I just want to get all my Christmas shopping and stuff done, and I wanted to do that all today. So I was going to go out and do it, but then I was like, I'm going to get hungry because now is about the time when I eat. So I was like, I should just eat something really quick and then go out and do my shopping. But then I was like, oh, I'll go to Chipotle. And then I thought to myself, this is really funny because I just recorded the Nutritarian nugget from yesterday where I was talking about toxic hunger and how, if you think about eating an apple and you don't want the apple, then you're not really hungry or whatever. And so I started to think about, well, I could just go to Whole Foods because I'm going to be in the area of a Whole Foods, and I could stop there and have their hot bar. And in my head I was like, I don't want Whole Foods, I want Chipotle. And then I was like, Cheri, take your own advice. You should have Whole Foods instead of Chipotle. And that was really funny because I was like, but I have to say, you guys, so then what I ended up doing was going, you know what, forget it. I have food at home. It's going to take me just as long, because I was thinking it's going to take me so long to make it and then eat it, which is true. It would take me a lot longer than if I just went to Whole Foods. But at least I know exactly what went into this food, because at Whole Foods they use oil and salt too. And so I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to bite the bullet, stay home, make my own food. And honestly, you guys, it was the thought of the challenge and the thought of having to fess up to you guys about how I messed up on day 3 or whatever. And not even necessarily talking to you guys. That does motivate me a little bit, but just the idea that I'm on a challenge and like, I can't mess up on day 3, And what's cool is I like that I gave myself only 10 days on this challenge, because if it's a longer challenge, like I remember when I did the 20 days over the summer, I was so done by day 9. I was like, I can't do this anymore. And on day 10 and 11 or whatever, that was when I started having banana ice cream, like massive amounts of banana ice cream. So I am glad I stuck with it today. We'll see what happens after this, but this is a ton of food, so I should be super full by the time I'm done. Hopefully it'll last for a long time. One thing I've been keeping in mind lately, you guys, and this is maybe something that you want to try to do too, I've been giving myself a rule of having a huge salad every day. And that is a very, very basic tenet of Eat to Live. But it's something I haven't really made a rule as the very, very basic rule. Because for me, the very basic rule had been get a lot of nutrients, eat a lot of high nutrient foods. But greens, right? That's the thing you should be having the most of every day. So in my smoothie this morning, I put in a full head of romaine, some cabbage, and the greens, as I told you guys. That kind of is technically a salad already, so I could say I've already had my salad today, but what I kind of mean is like a salad that you chew, one that you actually like chew. So I've been trying to keep with this rule and going like, all right, it doesn't matter which meals I choose today as long as I choose a huge salad and I eat the salad. And I realize, like, when I go to Chipotle, if I haven't had a smoothie that day, then that means I'm not going to get in a salad. So some days, and I'm not going to be perfect or whatever, but I'm just saying this is something I've been thinking to myself lately as like a rule, because I work on the mushrooms a lot. I work on raw onions a lot to make sure I have these G-bombs, as Dr. Fuhrman calls them, in my day. But like the greens part, I'm always just like, whatever, like I'll have some, And then sometimes I don't have a ton. Like if I just go to Chipotle and I had oatmeal that day, that's only just like a tiny little handful of romaine, So anyway, something to think about, making sure that you have an actual salad every single day with greens in it. Not like a salad made out of like quinoa and beans or something, I mean like a real salad with tons of greens. So something to keep in mind. And I'm going to go scarf this down and then try to get some of my errands done. It's hard lately when the sun goes down so early. I mean, it goes down around like 4:30 here, which is just very not motivating. You just kind of want to get all cozy and say like, well, there's always tomorrow, But, all right, well, I'll see you guys later. Dark chocolate bar. Christmas tree, fireplace, Spanish novella. This is a good night. Vincent. What are you doing? Hey. Booby. Hey. Vincent. ¿Qué pasa? Uh-oh. What are you doing? Get her, Moo. Get her. Savage. Ankle biter. Hey guys, all right, the tip for today is about cooking. This comes from The End of Diabetes, Dr. Fuhrman. This is a great book if you know anyone who has diabetes or you yourself do. So this is just called Cooking Techniques and Tips of the Trade. I'm just going to read you 2 paragraphs from page 140. I'm just listening to this on audio right now. And so I think it's really good to listen to stuff on audiobook when you're out for a walk or when you're in your car or something, because then you don't have to like slog through reading a book that's about nutrition. Who wants to do that, right? Okay, so anyways, a basic cooking technique utilized in some of these recipes is water sauteing. This is used instead of cooking with oil. Water sauteing is simple and good for stir-fries, sauces, and many other dishes. To water saute, heat a skillet on high heat until water sputters when dropped in the pan. Use small amounts of water, starting with 2 to 3 tablespoons in a hot skillet, wok, or pan. Then add the finely sliced vegetables, stirring and then covering to maintain the moisture. Continue to stir and add more water only if necessary. In many dishes, the moisture from the tomatoes, mushrooms, zucchini, and other high water content vegetables is sufficient, so you don't need any water at all, actually. And then here's another little section. Soups and stews are critical components of this Nutritarian diet style. When vegetables are simmered in soup, all the nutrients are retained in the liquid. Many of the soup recipes use fresh vegetable juices, especially tomato, celery, and carrot juice. These juices provide a very tasty, antioxidant-rich base. You guys might have seen me making a soup very recently in one of my vlogs where I juiced a bunch of vegetables that I had in my fridge and used that as the soup base, and I can tell you from experience it was very delicious. If you don't have a juicer, though, consider purchasing one. If you're short on time, bottled tomato and other vegetable juices can be purchased at most health food stores, but nothing beats the flavor of freshly juiced vegetables. I also use a simple procedure to create cream soups. Raw cashews or cashew butter are blended into the soup to provide a creamy texture and rich flavor. A big advantage of homemade soups is that they make wonderful leftovers. Soups generally keep well for up to 4 days in the refrigerator, but should be frozen if longer storage is desired. Okay, so really good tips here about cooking. I want to say something about the water sauteing. Typically what I do is I won't necessarily put it up on really high heat. I don't usually do that. I kind of put it on like medium high, and then kind of figure out what that vegetable sort of needs, and so I don't burn it. I try not to use water if I don't have to, because I just really like them to be drier, right? So a lot of the times if I'm just doing onions, I'll keep it on medium or medium high and just try to leave them in there. Try to get a little bit of browning in there so I can have some nice caramelization flavor coming out. And then I usually am using mushrooms as well, and those give off a lot of water, as the book says. Onions even give off some water, so a lot of the times I just try to get by. If I don't need to use any water, I don't put any in, but I just have it on hand if I need it. And as long as you don't use too much water, because if you use a ton of water, then it's just going to basically steam or cook like it would in a soup, which is fine. It's just a different technique. So there's some tips for you on how to make some soups and some cooking techniques, and get in the kitchen. I think one major tip about staying on track is always trying new recipes. At least one new recipe per week. Give yourself that rule. That's something I did in the very beginning, and I continue to do. Trying new recipes it inspires you with different flavors and different techniques and different spice mixes and things like that. And you're just creating that arsenal in your mind of every time you go to your fridge or your kitchen and you're thinking, oh, I want something terrible. If you have all of these ideas in your mind of stuff you've made before, you have no excuse, and you can whip something up really quickly. All right, so that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. That's what really helps me out a lot if you love these videos, and please share them with your friends. So have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!